welcome back to the Pequot Library where we are exploring more of John James Audubon's Birds of America, which is on display here as part of our exhibition. Our exhibition is running in conjunction with the Fairfield University Art Museum's current exhibit, Birds of the Northeast, Gulls to Great Auks, and we have something special to show you today. Today we're looking at the Carolina Parrot. So Beth, why don't you tell us a little bit about this print?
Thanks, Jen. Let's just look at details to remember where we are and what we're looking at. This is John James Audubon's Birds of America, the Bien edition, called that because it was prepared by the chromolithographer Bien in New York in 1860. And this edition was published by John James' son, John Woodhouse Audubon, to keep his father's work in view and in the memory of everyone here in America. So other details on the page. If we look up at the far corner, it says number 7-1. All of the lithography in this book was delivered in installments. So this is the 7th installment, the first image in it. And we can see the normal information that Audubon would give everybody: the name Carolina Parrot, the genus from Linnaeus in Latin, and then he tells you that he has one male, two females, and 3 young in this particular image, and that they are eating cocklebur. So that's the flora that you see in the painting. And we want to remember too that Audubon's goal was to paint the species in its adult size and in its natural environment. So cocklebur was one of the many plants that the parrot would eat. Because the parrot was such a good hunter, it was the enemy of farmers, planters, developers. We know that in colonial America, the Carolina parrot were plentiful, even up here in the north over to Pennsylvania and Ohio. John James Audubon painted this in the 1830s. I'd like to read something from his notebook to give you an impression of what was happening then to the Carolina parrot. A detail we know about John James Audubon is that in most cases, he shot and killed the species that appear in his paintings. However, in this parrot's case, that was not true. He says, "The parakeets are destroyed in great numbers, for whilst busily engaged in plucking off the fruits or tearing the grain from the stacks, the husbandman approaches them with perfect ease and commits great slaughter among them. All the survivors rise, shriek, fly around about for a few minutes, and again alight on a very place of most imminent danger. The gun is kept at work. 8 or 10 or even 20 are killed at every discharge. The living birds, as if conscious of the death of their companions, sweep over their bodies, screaming as loud as ever, but still return to the stack to be shot at, until so few remain alive. I have seen several hundreds destroyed in this manner in the course of a few hours, and have procured a basketful of these birds in order to make choice of good specimens for drawing the figures by which this species is represented here in this plate, installment 7-1. So Audubon is already witnessing the destruction of this bird that has been extinct for many decades now. Let's look also beyond the story of the parrot at the production of this lithograph. If you come in closely, you can see that there were, I would say, at least 4, if not 5 passes of color on the lithographic stone. The browns, of course, show the cocklebird, but then look at the detail in the face and in the wingspan of the bird. It's beautifully done, and I always like to emphasize the fact that this lithography was done manually. No computers, no computer-aided design software, just artistic experts at work with a beautiful painting.
And by more than one person working on a
I would
print,
imagine
right?
so. I would imagine it was a similar process as we know about illuminated manuscripts, that the people in the workshop would have specific tasks. So I'm guessing here that one might have focused on doing the flora.
Mm-hmm.
Another one might have done the greens. A next pass would have been focused on the heads and faces of the birds. And I would think that it was a collaborative effort.
So in line with what you just read, it's important to note that a lot of the images and artworks on display with the Fairfield University Art Museum also focus on extinct and threatened species of birds.
Correct.
Wow, they really are beautiful.
They are. It's a stunning image, so very colorful. And of course, by using the cocklebur as its backdrop, Audubon really lets the color of the parrots pop in our current parlance. They pop quite beautifully because of their colors.
They do. Well, we hope that you will come in to see these beautiful Carolina parrots. They'll be here open for the next week before we turn the page again to another plate from Audubon's Birds of America. Until then, we wish you all a good weekend.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.